The House of Representatives has considered the report of the Committee on Finance and Appropriations on the 2020 to 2022 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. The House also adopted a total expenditure framework of 10.7 trillion naira for the 2020 budget. Our National Assembly correspondent, Gloria Kiba, has details in this report.
I rise to move that we suspend the relevant order of the House so that we can skip the sequence on the order paper and take the next item on the order paper, which is the presentation of reports from the Committee of Finance and Appropriation on the Mtef and the fiscal strategy paper. Mr. Speaker, as you directed, I so move.
The passage of the nation's annual budget in good time is one of the agenda of the 9th Assembly, and so the House of Representatives has promised to work with the executive to ensure quick passage of the 2020 budget in the interest of the country. This has also prompted the lawmaker to consider the midterm expenditure framework by committees on finance and appropriation. The lawmakers adopted 2.18 MBPD as daily production output in 2020 in view of concerted efforts by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and security agencies to combat the menace of oil theft and vandalization. The 2.18 MBPD will be realized. $58 per barrel as crude oil benchmark was adopted for the 2020 fiscal year, and an exchange rate of 305 naira per dollar was maintained for economic stability.
The parameters. The daily crude oil production is pegged at 2.13 million barrels per day, with a benchmark oil price of $55 per barrel, an exchange rate of 305, GDP growth rate at 2.93, inflation rate at 10.81, the FGN, of course, retail revenue at 7.72 trillion. The total FGN proposed expenditure is 10.002 trillion. The saving on income accruing from the increase of the benchmark amounted to 172 billion, which represent the federal government portion of the $2 added to the benchmark, being used to pay salaries and emolument of the proposed 30,000 new employees.
Recommendation 3, 4, recommendation 5, recommendation 6, recommendation 7.
There's also an increase in the revenue target of the Nigeria Customs Service of 942 billion for 2020 to 1.5 trillion naira.
The revenue target of Nigeria Customs Service of 942.6 billion for 2020 should be increased to 1.5 trillion as a result of the performance of customs in the last 9 months. With 3 months still outstanding, the customs, of course, have generated 1 trillion as at September, as against 969.8 billion for the year. The Joint Committee commends customs for exceeding the targeted revenue despite the global economic challenges and closure of the Nigerian borders. The sum of 557.4 billion from the revenue increment of customs be used to reduce borrowing by 200 billion and increase capital expenditure, thereby decreasing the size of the budget deficit from 1.7 to 1.5 trillion.
The question is that recommendations 1 to 16 stand part of the report. Those in support should say aye. Those against please say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, honorable colleagues.
The House recommended that the total expenditure of the federal government be increased from 10.2 trillion naira to 10.7 trillion naira. This latest development is coming weeks after Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila assured of the readiness of the House to revert to the old budget calendar cycle of January to December. Gloria Kiba, TV News, Abuja.